Hello, welcome back to another session. Here we will be discussing the question paper which asked in the year 2016 from the same lesson, how do organisms reproduce? The first question, name the part of bryophyllum where the buds are produced for vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation in bryophyllum takes place through leaves of the plant which has notches at its margin. Buds arises from the notches of the leaves, and later when they drop on the soil a new plant develops. So it's a method of vegetative propagation through leaves. The examples are here for bryophyllum and begonia. Here you can see the pictures of bryophyllum where you can see small leaf buds or leaflets are coming from the margin of the leaves. So the small notches will be there at the margin of the leaves, and through the notches they are developing the leaf buds or leaflets. After the growth, you can see in the next picture, they will be developing small roots from the leaf itself. And after getting maturation, they will be falling down and they will be getting a grip on the soil. They start absorbing the nutrients, water, etc. from the soil, and they will be starting to do the process of photosynthesis. This is the method of vegetative propagation through leaves. And how do organisms, whether reproduce sexually or asexually, actually maintain a constant chromosome number through several generations? Explain with the help of suitable example. And during asexual reproduction, organisms undergo only mitotic division. The DNA of the cells involved are copied and then equally divided among the two daughter cells formed. Thus, the chromosome number remains unchanged. In the case of asexual reproduction, you just remind the structure of asexual reproduction seen in amoeba. There you can see the parent cell is equally divided into two daughter cells. There, in that process, the chromosomal number also passed into the daughter cells equally without any change. What is the parental chromosomal number? The same chromosomal number will be passed to the both of the new daughter cells without any change. But in the case of sexual reproduction, organisms reproduce or produce gametes through meiosis, in which the original number of chromosomes become half. These two gametes combine to form the zygote, and the original number of chromosomes is restored. In the case of meiotic division, actually this meiotic division is for reproductive cells, and all other cells in the body is dividing by mitosis. In the case of meiosis, the chromosomal number is getting into half, reduced into half. When they produce sperm, when they produce ovum, the number of the chromosomes are reduced into half of the chromosomal number. In the case of human being, our chromosomal number is 46 number of chromosomes are present in the body. But the formation of the sperm, at the time of formation of the ovum, the 46 number is reduced into half, that means 23. Sperm's chromosome number is 23, ova's chromosome number is 23. At the time of fertilization, the sperm and the ova is getting into fused, or they are combining. During the process of fertilization, by the fusion of sperm and ova, they are making the zygote, which is having the chromosome number again become 46. That means 23 from sperm plus 23 from ova brings again the actual chromosomal number of human beings like 46 once again. Okay, this is how the chromosomal numbers are maintained in during the process of asexual reproduction and during the process of sexual reproduction. For example, in humans, the parents each have 46 or 23 pairs of chromosomes. In the gametes, the sperms have half of the number of chromosomes, that is 23, and the egg also will be having 23 chromosomes. When the sperm and the egg fuse, the zygote has 46 or 23 pairs of chromosome. So you can see the condition of the zygote is 2n. Okay, and next is suggest 3 contraceptive methods to control the size of human population, which is essential for the health and prosperity of the country. State basic principles involved in each. This is the same question asked in year 2017 also. So this area is very important. They are keep on asking the question from the same area. So the same answers, right? We are discussing three kind of methods for preventing the pregnancies. That is barrier method or mechanical method, chemical method, and surgical method. In the barrier method, we can use the quantums or diaphragms. By using both, we know that they are preventing the meeting of the sperms and the ova. They are blocking the fertilization. And in the chemical method, it changes the hormonal balance of the female partner so that eggs are not get released. So they are taking some pills, oral pills, tablets for controlling or for preventing the fertilization process. And surgical method. In the surgical method, we will be doing a surgical block in the vas deferens, that is called vasectomy. At the same time, we can do the surgical block in the oviduct or fallopian tube, that is called tubectomy. We can follow any of the surgical method for preventing pregnancy. In females, the oviduct is blocked to prevent the transfer of sperm or egg, and hence there is no fertilization is taking place. So these are the three methods normally we are using for preventing the pregnancy. And out of this, chemical method is only meant for female. It's not meant for men. And another one, it's also a type of mechanical barrier only, IUCD, intrauterine contraceptive devices, or they can use the loops or copper tees, that is also blocking the fertilization processes. And next question is, write the functions of the following parts of the human female reproductive system: ovary, oviduct, and uterus. See, you can see the years which continuously ask in 2016, 17, and 18. 3-year continuously ask this question. And here, ovary, it helps the production of the female hormone called estrogen and progesterone. It helps in the production of eggs or ovum or female gamete. 2 functions are given for each of this. And in the case of oviduct, they are helping the transfer of ovum from ovary to the uterus. So it's a passage. After the ovulation, this ovum is transferring through the oviduct to the uterus. And more important, it is the site of fertilization. The sperm and the ova is getting fertilized in the oviduct. And third one is uterus. Uterus is helping the implantation of the zygote or the embryo. After the fertilization, the zygote is moving and slowly reaching to the wall in a uterus, and slowly they are getting stick to the walls of the uterus. That is called implantation of the zygote. After implantation, uterus is providing all the nourishment to the developing embryo. And what is the role of placenta? That was the second question in the same. Placenta is present inside the uterus, and which provides all the nourishment to the baby, oxygen to the baby, and also they will be helping to release all the waste products from the embryo. Okay, the embryo inside the mother body gets nourishment through the placenta. Placenta is a special disc-like tissue embedded in the mother's uterus wall and connected to the embryo. Placenta provides a large surface area for glucose and oxygen and nutrients to pass from mother's blood to the embryo. In the textbook, you can see there are a lot of villi are present, on the sides of the embryo, and on mother's side, it is blood spaces. So this villi will be helping to increase the surface area through which these kinds of essential materials are diffused to the embryo's blood or embryo's body. Okay, that is the role of placenta, and these are the roles of ovary, oviduct, and uterus. They are continuously asking. So you have to learn the structure of the female uterus also, okay, female reproductive system with all the 5 labelings. That is also frequently, keep on asking in the question paper. And next question. To perform an experiment to identify the different parts of an embryo of a dicot seed, first of all, you require a dicot seed. So in this question, you want to identify which among the following following options will be having the correct choices for the dicot. Dicot means we are able to split them into two equal halves. Okay, so monocot and dicot, it is mentioned in the textbook. You should have an idea about what is monocot. In the case of monocot seeds, we are unable to split them into two equal halves or two seed leaves. But in the case of dicot, by gentle press, we are able to split them into two equal halves like cashew nuts and groundnut, etc. So in this given example, wheat is a monocotyledon, it's not a dicot, so that option is quit. And maize is again a monocotyledon, and gram, maize and groundnut, again maize is that, so that also we can omit. So the last option, gram, pea and groundnut, the complete thing, that means gram is a dicotyledon, pea is a dicot, and groundnut also is a dicot. So the correct answer in this question is gram, pea and groundnut. This is also asked in one of the previous year, like 2018, I remember. And draw a label diagram to show that particular stages of binary fission in amoeba, in which its nucleus elongates and divides into two, and a constructions appears in its cell membrane. So this binary fission in amoeba also very important. Okay, if you check the previous videos, you can see how much it is asked in the previous years. So here they asked you to draw the diagram. They didn't ask you to do the explanations here. They asked you to do the diagram only. So I will be showing you the diagram of binary fission in amoeba. Here you can see four stages are given. Same pictures are there in the textbook. The first shape, and we know that the amoeba doesn't have a fixed shape, so you can draw in any shape that. Okay, it should have a nucleus and a cytoplasm. It's showing as the parent amoeba. You can see in the second step, the cell is getting elongated and a small construction is coming in the middle of the parent amoeba. And nucleus also getting elongated, and this narrow connection is there in between the two nucleus. Okay, and slowly the cytoplasm constructions are increasing, but at the third stage you can see that the nucleus is divided already. Only the cytoplasm is getting to divide, and then they will be separately as two daughter cells. In the fourth stage, you can see cytoplasm also divided, and it is equally divided into two daughter cells. So these are the four stages of binary fission in amoeba. So you have to focus, first nucleus is dividing, later the cytoplasm is dividing. So these four steps are very, very mandatory. All the steps need to be maintained in the diagram. And I just gave you a small description of the diagram, what it meant. Okay, step 1, during binary fission, the genetic material in the nucleus replicates by mitotic divisions. Here the nucleus firstly divided into two daughter nuclei by the process of karyokinesis. Okay, that is splitting of the nucleus into two is known as karyokinesis. This word is not in your textbook. And after the division of the nucleus, later the cytoplasm is getting into two, or they are dividing, then it will be equally splitted into two daughter cells. And name the parts A, B, C shown in the following diagram and state the one function of each. So here you can see the labels A, B, C. A is male reproductive system, and then specifically we can say that it is the anther. B is female reproductive system. The long elongated tube is called style, and C is the ovary. So A is the anther, B is the style, and C is the ovary. And you have to mention the functions of each also. Okay, so the function of anther, we know that anther is carrying the pollen grains in that, right? The reproductive gametes, male gamete is known as pollen grains, that is there in the anther. Style is carrying or transferring the pollen grains from stigma to the ovary. Since it is a long tube which is having a connection with the stigma in the ovary, once the pollen grains are dusted or over the stigma, the pollen grains are passing through the style to the ovary. And in the ovary, the process of fertilization is happening. The male and female gametes are fusing inside the ovary. Okay, and ovary, future, it is developed as the fruit, and ovule, which is developed as the seed. So this is the question which came from the lesson how do organisms reproduce from the year 2016. Okay, I hope all of you practice these questions for the examinations, and all the best to everyone. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye and take care. We'll be back with another question paper.